It's been a trying month for kids and parents with virtual schooling, testing the limits. That is. Here's hoping that they go back soon. In the meantime, we have centers like Scholars helping us out. We're here in Ancaster this morning. We have Amy and her two kids. We have our tutor Mary over there. Morning, Mary. And then look at this familiar face.
Good morning.
Yes, it's
welcome.
CEO of Scholars and friend of the show and former Ticap, Pete Diakowski. Good to see you, pal. I would normally like to do that big bear hug, but we'll
keep our distance. Exactly.
Keep our distance. Isn't it convenient that you're heading up Scholars as Canada's smartest person? Is that what kind of got you in?
It's a match made in heaven. Well, you know, I've always worked in tutoring early in my career back in university. In the CFL, all players have an off-season job, and then my wife and I actually worked together and ran a franchise tutoring center on Hamilton Mountain, and this was a natural fit as I grew with Scholars, and very happy to host you guys here at Ancaster this morning and let you guys meet Amy and Mary here.
Nice. What were you like as a kid in school?
Well, some of my teachers, or most of them, might be surprised to see me in this role helping to lead an education company. I was a very engaged student. However, I wasn't necessarily a very compliant student. I've always had a thirst for knowledge and a love of learning, but I had difficulty, I think, fitting into the structure of the school system. I think a program like Scholars could have benefited me tremendously.
Well, and there's so many out there right now, because what a school year it's been.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And it's difficult right now because we're doing the virtual stuff. And how is that affecting you guys?
Well, we've seen, unfortunately, over the last year, tremendous disruptions in the education system, and there's been more need than ever for support for students. And we're very happy we've been able to help so many thousands of students and families work through this time. Through the lockdowns, we have our virtual Scholars Online Classroom for tutoring via video uplink, where our students have got to keep their same neighborhood teacher and stay focused with one-to-one and two-to-one sessions.
Because you have to follow the rules, because the centers can't be open. These are Mary's kids that are in here. Sorry, Amy's kids.
Yes.
Amy's kids that are in here right now.
They're demonstrating, and hopefully we'll be back to this in a couple of weeks.
Because when businesses can be open, you can have limited amount of kids in here getting that extra little bit of educating.
Depending on the public health region that you're in, observing all of the rules.
There's a number of Scholars around too, right? Or in and around the region. How many are there?
We've got about 43 in Ontario, and just in sort of the Hamilton, Oakville, Guelph to Niagara region, we've got about a dozen.
About a dozen. Okay. You're a busy guy. Your phone's going off. So let's take a break. Here's the thing. We're seeing you again later this week, because we're doing our annual Super Bowl pick. So we'll have Pete back on the show. But we're going to take a break right now. Then we'll check in with Amy and her two kids, and we'll meet Mary too, and learn more about Scholars and how they can maybe help you a little bit during these trying times. We come back on Morning Live. Listen, online learning is pushing many of us parents to the brink, so there's nothing wrong with asking for a little bit of help from teachers or maybe from an outside influence like Scholars here in Ancaster. Happy to be here with Amy, and you have your two kids in with us today.
Yes, I have Ethan and Haley here.
Morning, guys. Hello. Working away because the center is closed, right? So you can't have people in here.
That's right. So the center's physically closed. This is just to show you what the center would look like when we're open. We can't wait to be open again. So we do have our plexiglass screens in place. The tutor would be sitting in the center there, and obviously we have masks on, and our hands are sanitized when we enter and exit the building. And so we have our social distancing in place, so it's a nice, safe spot.
See, but you still are tutoring right now.
We
right?
certainly are.
We're demonstrating that with Ethan is online with tutor Mary.
That's right.
Who's here too. Take us through the operating system a little bit.
Yeah, so we have an amazing online Scholars classroom. And great security in place there, which is beneficial to the families. Yeah. So it's very interactive and easy for our young ones to use. There's certain tools that they can use along the right-hand side, that allows to manipulate what they see on the screen. We can download their specific individualized program to the Scholars Classroom, and the tutors along, on the other side, there's Mary over there, showing you how it all works. So the tutor's there to guide them through the lesson.
What ages?
We do all ages, so all grades, all subjects. We're
Even up to high school?
Up to high school age, yes.
What are you hearing from parents? Like, what's a frequently asked question from parents right now?
Well, I think safety is a big one. So, our center is certainly a safe spot to come. Another question that we commonly get is, how are we doing this online? How are we transferring that? How do we bring these students to, the same platform that they're using all day long, right? Because they're in remote learning right now, so that's a big struggle.
I think the key is productive screen time. Right?
Absolutely.
That is something we're hearing, because
Yes.
they're sitting in front of a screen all day, and then going to another screen to learn a little bit more is more difficult. That's why we want
Yes.
everything to get back open, and it will at some point, but right now you are doing the virtual thing. So let's take a break. We'll watch. Is it going okay, Haley? Yeah, you're doing good. Good job.
Doing great,
How about
honey.
you, Ethan? Thumbs up? Thumbs up from Ethan. All right, we're getting a thumbs up. That's good, too. Thumbs up, Mary? We're good? Oh, double thumbs up
Double
from Mary.
thumbs.
Nice. Okay, we'll take a break here at Scholars, but there is locations around the region, and we'll dive into a few other things that they're doing here in the Ancaster one on Morning Live. Getting some much needed help this morning for all of us who are homeschooling from Scholars here in Ancaster, back with Amy and her
Hello.
two kids, Ethan and Haley, and we have tutor Mary here with us online with Ethan. We left the last segment, productive screen time.
Mm-hmm.
Our kids are on screen so much.
That's right.
How do we do
I
that
know.
productively?
Yes, so it is a big issue right now. The American Pediatric Association advises us that 1 hour a day of screen time for 2 to 5-year-olds and only 2 hours a day for 6 to 18-year-olds. And that doesn't apply to us right now. It's a temporary time. I think parents overstress about it, first of all. But you're right, there is a means to be productive with our online time. So, instead of having our children waste their time in front of a screen, there's some amazing educational apps. There's also Scholars Online Learning, where we're actually, building on the skills. A lot of children have fallen behind in their studies the last year. So at least we can help build upon these important skills at this time and make use of that screen time.
How's it been for you? You have two kids, so Ethan's 9, Haley is
6,
right?
Yes, yeah.
Working, trying to juggle that.
Absolutely. I have 2 businesses that I help to operate. So it's certainly a challenge at home. But I think it's a struggle for everyone. You have to supervise your children. I know, especially with my youngest, she's learning to read and write right now. So I'm the teacher. I have to be by her side. So there's usually about 15 other students online at the same time. They're all at a different pace. So that's hard to manage as the teacher, right? So, as parents at home, I really feel for them. I get them. I understand it. So that's why we are here to lighten the load.
How much do they need? Is it up to the parents or the kid? Because some kids are going to need more than others.
Yeah, so we do ask for that level of commitment. Right. So if a student was to come in here or online at this point for an hour a day, or hour a week, I should say, that's not enough time. We ask for commitment minimum twice a week to join us, because we need that time to reinforce what we're learning and not coming back to it a whole week later. We want these children to succeed and become confident with the content they're learning.
Good job, Haley. Nice work. All right, let's take another break. We have one more visit, and maybe we'll find Pete Diakowski around here.
Sneaking around.
He's it's hard to miss him, but he did go somewhere. We come back to Scholars in Ancaster. There's a bunch of scholars all around the region that you can look up to. Turn on Morning Live. Welcome back to Scholars in Ancaster, one of a number of scholars in and around the region. We have Haley and we have Ethan, who are kids of Amy's, who runs the center here. So that's why they can be in here, because nobody else can be in here.
No, that's right.
Is that what you're hearing? Is that a major thing you're hearing from parents?
Yes, well, a lot of parents really want in person right now. They're begging for that. But, you know, obviously we have to stick to regulations.
Yeah.
So we're sticking to our virtual learning right now on our amazing classroom, Scholars Classroom platform.
Let's get to like, when tutoring is happening, is it 1-to-1? Is it 2-to-1? Is it 3-to-1? How does that work?
Yes, so we do have a specific ratio. It is 2-to-1 right now for safety purposes because we have those plexiglass screens and everything in place, and we need our distancing. So we're actually pretty adamant about students working with their peers. So we don't actually advise 1-to-1 with a tutor. We feel that the children get a lot out of working alongside someone else. They can learn independent skills. Certainly something that I think parents would applaud right now because, you know, we want our children to become confident, independent learners and learning a sense of almost teamwork.
Well, I think too, just even from my kids, there's a pride factor when they're able to finish something to share it with the class.
Yes.
And to show how they did do it.
That's right.
And that's what I think that's one of their favorite parts.
Yes, that sense of honor, absolutely. And
if you're just sharing it with the tutor, it's a little bit different.
And we certainly honor our students here. We have a scholars store, so they get rewards and toys for when they accomplish something. We have these little scholars apples when they've done a great job. So yes, students definitely love, they have that sense of pride over their work.
Okay. So we're just kind of waiting. But if somebody does need it now, you are doing it virtually, like Mary's doing right now.
That's it. Mary's with Ethan.
With your son Ethan. So there is that virtual component.
There is the virtual component right now.
And then when we get back to it, you're able to.
Yeah, we can't wait to get back to it.
Right. Okay. Again, as we said, we give Pete a shout out, who's the CEO of Scholars. Thanks for coming out today, pal.
Thanks, Pete.
Thanks for coming out. And we'll see you on Friday, okay, for Super Bowl picks.
Super Bowl preview.
Okay, buddy. Good seeing you, pal. Thank you, Mary, and thank you, Ethan, and
Thanks
Haley
for joining us, Tim.
for helping us out.